Hi, everybody. Welcome to Halftime here on the Brew Sports Network. It is a Thursday edition of the program, and boy, oh boy, am I thirsty.
I'm quite thirsty.
Oh, my goodness. That's Tanner Burke. I'm Baxter Colburn. Thanks so much for joining us in the studio today. We've got a lot of big things to get to today. Of course, when it comes to the football world, there's always the ever-changing scenarios of Marshawn Lynch, the NFL draft. You've also got things like the NHL playoffs that finally dropped the puck last night. People are beside themselves excited. Morning Brew host Jamie's going to the Predators Blackhawks game tonight. That's pretty awesome. If you see Jamie at the Blackhawks game tonight, take a picture of her. Take a picture with her. Don't dump any beer on her. She's a nice gal.
I don't think Blackhawks fans are that bad.
She hates Blackhawks fans.
I hate Chicago fans in general, but they're not. It's not like you're going to Philadelphia or Oakland
True.
or L.A.
Virtually anywhere.
Virtually anywhere.
Virtually anywhere that nobody likes.
Boston.
Yeah. Boston. Freaking Boston.
Top of the afternoon to you. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Boston, Ireland, apparently, is where we're headed to later today.
What about that national anthem in Edmonton?
What about it?
I did not. Let me Google it.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. Thirsty for a Google. We're going to be joined by Unqua Sonye here a little bit later on to talk about some of the latest headlines in the baseball world. One of the Yankees' top prospects is getting Tommy John surgery. Unqua, a very closely related person to the Yankees organization, will give us some insight on that. Plus, surprises, disappointments, all the other great stuff that's taken place in the baseball world. We are playing, officially, Baxter Tanger Baxter Tangeranger bingo today, apparently. Our producer, David, provided us with bingo cards that allow us to play against each other.
I'm very excited. Should we read some of these?
So Tanner has a list of a bingo card.
Stuff for you.
Stuff for me, and I have a list of things for Tanner.
Yes, and eventually we will make copies where people can download our cards and they can play with either Baxter against me or with myself against Baxter. So
Me, myself, and
I. Some of these are great.
And this is stuff that our producer David came up with too. He's a brilliant guy.
Yes.
People are saying hi on Facebook already. Trevor says, top of the afternoon to you guys. Good to see you, Trevor. Patrick says, yo. What up, yo? Yo, brother. Yo, mama. Hey,
amazing.
Anyway, not that kind of show.
No.
Good afternoon to you, Adam. Good afternoon to everybody else that's tuning in as well, too. But, yeah, let's take a look at some of these possible ones here. So, basically, no matter what Tanner says, anything related to Buffalo, I automatically get to, cross off 3/4 of my card, basically. Facebook says Tanner's beer is getting warm, so that'll be a good one. We knock over our microphones.
Bax makes a hand gesture. Bax starts singing or humming a tune.
Ooh, that's a good one.
This one's good. It just says, just mark this one. I'm out of stuff to fill this in.
So you immediately get to start with a free one? That's not even fair.
This one's good, though, too. This one's great. Baxter says, we'll have to see what happens, or Baxter talks about doing something in Florida.
Oh, my gosh.
Baxter says, I agree with you there.
Tanner does Trump impression. Tanner adjusts earpiece. Tanner walks off the set. Tanner blatantly attempts to do something to screw you up to attempt to getting bingo. Oh, yeah. There's some good stuff on here.
A half hour more into the show, Baxter has more than half his beer left. These are great.
I don't even have a beer today, so haha.
Oh, geez.
Foiled you on that
Baxter adjusts his earpiece the second time. This is great.
I do adjust my earpiece.
What's funny is we will ultimately when we get these.
Well, we have actual show related ones.
Yeah,
not just us specifically. This is something our producer gave to us.
We will eventually put it out there for everybody who's watching to play along, and ultimately I think we'll need help because I can't pay attention to this the whole time.
I was going to say that's the big thing in all of this is that we really aren't even able to keep up with most of these things. That's why we need you folks to help us on Facebook as well, too. And we'll be able to drop it in the comments section as well for you, so that way you guys can play along and download and hit the randomize button, I think, on whatever program we're going to end up using. But some great stuff today. Let us know what stories you guys are following today in the sports world. Of course, Adam was mentioning earlier about the national anthems.
I just put it in there.
What was so? Oh, you actually got it for me.
Yes, I put it in our lineup.
Okay, I'll have to come and find it here then. But while I pull that up, then why don't you tell me, aside from the national anthem, what you're hungry or thirsty or ravishing for?
I am hungry, that's for sure. But I'm thirsty for some bingo. I can't wait to get to play a little bit of that.
Are we going to play today, or are we just telling people about it? Because there's a lot of things.
I'm going to keep an eye on it today. But
keep an eye.
I don't want to screw it because this is all handwritten.
That's the thing. We have real ones that were given to us, but this is hot off the press, basically, as I'm showing the camera that's not even focused on me.
Yes. But yes, aside from that, the Chicago Cubs finally got their World Series ring.
They did.
And I was probably terrible timing because now you have to pull up the picture of the ring.
You can't do freaking anything.
Oh my God, I suck.
There you go.
I am the worst.
Ring's
so here's
up.
the ring. It has 108 diamonds for the 108 years that the Chicago Cubs had missed or not won the World Series, or since they won last. I like it. It's growing on me, but I hate it at the same time. It's just
a lot going on.
It's basically a big bubble. There's not really much to look at aside from. I mean, I don't know. I
don't think it's terrible, but I'm not a big fan of it.
I like the fact that they have the W flag on there and they have Wrigley in the background. That's pretty cool. But when you're looking at it from the top, it's just kind of boring.
I love how they don't have at least the picture that we have of the rings. You can't see that they actually have the goat on the inside.
Do they really?
They really do. They have a little goat. Yep, and Adam just said that too. He said the goat on the inside is pretty cool.
That is too funny.
But it does look like it was designed by an 8-year-old. Let's be honest. I mean, when I first saw these championship rings, I mean, we'll pull it up again here for you too. When I first saw these rings, and you heard the rumor, like 108 diamonds. Yep. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be like the coolest looking ring ever. And then I saw it. I'm like, well, that was Chicago.
They had 108 years to figure this out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like,
sure, the ring itself might be worth a lot of money. That's great. But it's
probably worth a ton of money. It's got 108 diamonds on it.
But still, I was very sad about this when I actually saw the ring for the first time. I'm like, but I even showed it to my wife last night. She's like, that's it? I was like, yeah. Like, I'm not even a baseball fan. And I was like, that's terrible. Come on, man.
It really is just like a bubble. Like, I don't really know what to think about it. It definitely, here's the deal, though. It definitely stands out when you're talking about championship rings.
Sure.
I mean, it wouldn't be a Chicago championship ring if it didn't look different than anything else because the Cubs look different than everything else.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's okay.
Yeah, not in love with
it,
but I mean, I'll get on it eventually. One of these days, I might actually kind of care. But don't hold your breath.
Anyways.
So that is certainly it. Thank you, Tom, giving us the official what day it is today. It's National Scrabble Day, National Make Lunch Count Day. There you go, Tanner.
By the way, speaking of lunch, be sure to stick around to the end of the show or to later on. I'm going to bring back my favorite segment, What's for Lunch? And I'll give you a hint. I'm making something Italian related today. So it's going to be great. So you'll love that, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I'm always in the mood for that. Yeah, Patrick says W because they're annoying and always fly the W whenever the little bears win. It's true. That's why people are always like, fly the L when they lose. Like when the Brewers beat them the other day, everyone's like, fly the L. Like, okay, then they like swept their series. I'm like, whatever.
Yep.
Fly the W. Why? Nobody else flies the W when they win.
Nope.
Why is that?
Just Blackhawk fans and
is it just a
Cubs
Chicago
fans.
thing to do?
I guess.
The Chicago Fire don't fly the W when they win a soccer game because they actually...
The Bulls don't do it.
Yeah. The Bulls have won way more championships.
Yeah. I don't know.
No idea. Doesn't make sense to me. Thirsty Thursday rolling along here. I'm thirsty for the talks of Marshawn Lynch to go away because I really am getting annoyed with this. Now, the latest possible things coming out about all this is talking about how Marshawn Lynch and company, he's going to get reinstated by the NFL, which is great if you're into that sort of thing. He's going to officially have to be re-signed by the Seahawks, but they're going to trade him to the Oakland Raiders from all the latest reports from ESPN and NFL.com and all those other places. But what gets me about all this is that Richard Sherman apparently is coming out saying, well, I'd like to be a package deal in this thing so that way I can be a part of getting out of Seattle, because apparently Richard Sherman wants out of Seattle too, from what we've been hearing and talking about and all that stuff recently. But I'm getting tired of this, he said, she said, where are you going? Is any of this actually coming from Marshawn? And that's things that people have been asking me. They're like, well, is this actually coming from Marshawn or is this coming from somebody else? And I'm like, does anybody know if it's coming from Marshawn? I don't think anybody truly knows. I mean, even when you heard like Marshawn Lynch privately said he wants to go to New England, like, did he actually say that, or did somebody be like, Marshawn, what do you think about New England? Yeah.
I'm only here so I don't get fined.
Yeah, exactly. Be like, he wants to go to New England. Start talking. Start making it happen. Like, okay, Marshawn. Like,
yeah.
I'm getting frustrated by it personally. I don't know where you lie on this.
Where do I lie on it?
Where do you lie on this?
I hate that there are still so many power free agents out there that aren't signed anywhere. I mean, we're still waiting to hear about Jay Cutler. Tony Romo hasn't officially retired. Waiting to see what's going to happen with Marshawn Lynch, of course, Adrian Peterson, Jamal Charles. These are all guys who are going to get signed somewhere. And Colin Kaepernick, too. Does he just not play this year if nobody signs him? Like, what happens? Does he take a half a pay cut?
No, I mean, he's going to hang around. I think he's going to find a job somewhere midway through the season once a notable quarterback goes down and people are looking across their bench going like, nope, certainly not. Colin Kaepernick.
Colin, what are you doing?
Come on in.
Yeah.
You know San Francisco still has his number. Like, they haven't completely deleted it from their contacts.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I mean, yeah, Brian Hoyer's their starting quarterback. Yeah, good for you, San Fran. Hopefully they draft a quarterback also. But you think Colin's got to still be, like, within a couple of miles of the facility, God forbid something go wrong.
This is true.
You know? People are getting after it. Adam says, when did the Chicago Fire ever win? Watch them this season. They've actually been good this year. Trevor says, there's too many national days. We need a national day of nothing at this point. Yeah, that would be nice.
And then, of course, Adam, I ate Skittles with Marshawn yesterday, and he said he wanted to come back to Buffalo. I highly doubt that.
So, Adam, when you say you were eating Skittles yesterday...
I don't know if Buffalo would welcome Marshawn Lynch back. I would love for him to play for us again, but
this is the kind of day I'm having. I tried to put one pen on top of another pen, and I'm like, why can't I put my pen in my ear?
Why isn't it fitting in my ear? Yeah, jeez.
I stole your pen.
Patrick has a good question for you. He says, would you rather talk about Marshawn Lynch or hear Tanner rant about LeVar Ball?
I'd rather just quit my job.
Okay. So anyways, let's talk about LeVar Ball. Just kidding. Now hiring Bruce Sports.
Now hiring Bruce Sports. This is my official resignation letter. I'm done.
Trevor says, fun fact, he ran into Rob Ryan at the liquor store in Buffalo yesterday. Apparently he's never leaving Buffalo. It's crazy that Rob Ryan is still there. I wonder if Rex is still there too, or if Rob was just like, you know what? This is kind of nice here, even though Buffalo kind of ran us out of town, and it snuck back in.
It's nice to, have a place to call home at times.
Yes. Josh says Kaepernick could turn into this generation's Jeff George.
I enjoyed Jeff George. I didn't think he was terrible back in the day.
I mean, we'll have to see what happens there.
We should just need to start using everybody else's stuff now, basically. Like, oh, my gosh. So the Buffalo Bills, I tell you what, they're going to be a great team this year.
Check.
Are you serious?
Orlando, Florida, check.
I never mentioned Florida.
Oh, my gosh. Where's the soccer one on here? Oh, Bax can't resist bringing up soccer out of nowhere.
It was relevant. No. That was relevant because somebody asked a question about it. You cannot even potentially bring that up.
All right. Well, I'm going to keep my board clean right now.
I'm going to say, clear your cards.
Clear your cards. We're going to start over.
Boo.
This is great. Awesome.
My goodness. So we're going to talk to Unqua Sonia here in just a little bit about the baseball world. But I was going to ask you, is there anything else in general that you're thirsty for? I mean, the national anthem, unfortunately, is not loading, so we're not going to be American this morning.
Boo.
But what else are you thirsty for?
I'm thirsty for, I don't know. I was thirsty for the national anthem. But, the St. Louis, the city of St. Louis, I believe, is suing the NFL.
Correct.
For their... St. Louis Rams moving to L.A. So, interested to see what happens there. Kind of came out of nowhere, but I get it. I don't really know what they can do about it, but
the allegations coming out from the NFL or not the allegations, but the reports coming from the NFL and numerous other places basically have said the fact that that they have no case. They have absolutely no case to under what regards are you capable of suing, saying this is basically like a 5-year-old yelling at a 7-year-old because he came and took his Legos and be like, you took my Legos, give them back. It's like, no, I bought them from you at the garage sale. You sold them to me. You didn't want your Legos, so they're my Legos now, and you can't sue me to get my Legos back because you sold them to me, and you did do nothing to keep your Legos. If you wanted to keep your Legos, you would have not put them up for sale, or you would have done something that would have prevented them from leaving.
It's interesting. It says here, in the years leading up to the Rams' relocation request, Rams officials decided to move the team and confidentially determined that they would be interested in exploiting any opportunity to do so.
Exploiting. Such a fun word.
Yeah.
Exploiting. Oh, my.
Wow. The Rams never intended to engage in good faith negotiation with St. Louis.
So they just were sticking it to him the whole time. They're like, we don't really care. We're going to leave no matter what. Because
brutal. Well, I mean, none of this was really talked about.
It's true. Just all of a sudden, it was just kind of like picked up and left. Like, well, Rams are going to L.A. Like, whoa, that's crazy.
It's like a bad breakup, and like that's the first person to talk about how bad the other person was is usually the better person or something. So it's like, oh, St. Louis, it just wasn't a big enough city. They're not a football town. We hated them the whole time we were there.
Never texted back right away.
Never texted back. I always paid for dinner.
Always wanted to watch Netflix. Never wanted to go out and hang with my friends.
Cardinals. It was never Rams.
Gosh. And they won this stupid soccer team. Like, come on. No, it's relevant. You know for a fact it's relevant. We've talked about this.
All right. Okay.
Good God. It is so relevant. St. Louis' city voted no for the taxpayer money for the St. Louis Soccer Stadium.
Okay.
You know that's true.
40 McFoot faces.
That's not even no. It's not even remotely close. But good effort. Oh, my Lord.
Do we have any update on that?
On the Footy McFoot faces?
Yeah.
No, I have not. I've heard nothing, unfortunately. Okay. Our correspondents out in San Diego have fallen off the face of the Footy McFoot faces.
All right. Well, I'm gonna find it.
You should look it up.
Find anything on there.
Well, while you do that, I'm gonna bring in Unkwa Sonye so that way we can talk about a sport that everybody knows is my favorite, which is baseball. Which actually it's starting to grow on me a little bit. Kind of, sort of. Not that I don't like it. I mean, I'm saying there's a chance.
Okay.
But at the same time, I'm not saying like I'm going completely out of my way to,
So would you go as far to say that you don't necessarily care about baseball?
I tolerate baseball. I tolerate it.
Okay.
I enjoy it.
This is gonna be fun. This whole bingo thing's gonna be great.
All right, let's bring in Unkwa Sonye here in just a moment. Unkwa, a very good day to you, sir. The baseball world heating up. The Yankees, their top prospect at pitcher, getting Tommy John surgery. A very good day to you, Unkwa, and your thoughts about the Tommy John surgery for the young Yankee.
Good morning for you, afternoon for me. Losing James Caprillion, pitcher that used to play for the Cardinals of Louisville. It's really tough. It really is tough, especially when you look at the Yankees, how they're comprised. Their weak spot really is the rotation. And yesterday you saw Jordan Montgomery go out, give you 4 2/3 innings of quality ball, which is a lot to expect for a young left-hander. It's going to hurt the Yankees, but at least he's not pulling a Masahiro Tanaka saying, I'm going to rehab through this. Just go ahead, get the surgery, and bounce back later.
Yeah, and I think that's the smart move to do, too. I mean, Tommy John surgery is one of those things that just can absolutely wreck your career as a whole. I mean, that's why they named it surgery after it, for gosh sakes, because it ruined Tommy John's career, honestly. But you look at this as a whole. I mean, the Yankees, though, have not been their glory years for a very long time. Is there a chance for the Yankees to continue to make a run? I mean, do they have the pieces in place to actually be somewhat kind of contenders in the AL this year?
They can make it to the wild card game, perhaps, but I don't really see anything more than that. You would need Boston to fall off the face of the earth, and you would need Baltimore to actually rediscover some starting pitching of their own. They might be the one team in the division whose starting pitching is actually worse than the Yankees, and that's saying a lot at this present point in time. I think the Yankees can definitely compete to make it to the wild card game, but it's a really young roster. The growing pains, I think, are going to be a lot for Joe Girardi to contend with. I still think they'll finish at 500 or above, but I'm not too bullish on the playoff.
Go ahead.
How far do you dive into how some of these teams are playing right now? And there are some teams who are playing okay. I mean, we're only about 10 games into the season now. And you got like the Atlanta Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies down at the bottom here at 2-6 and 3-6, and even the Toronto Blue Jays are 1-7. And Toronto is one of those teams where we thought, hey, they could make it back and make another deep run of the playoffs again this year. But how far do we actually need to look into some of these records? It's a long season, but should some of these fan bases be worried about their teams?
Well, what I've always felt about the early start is that the first week is a great indicator of good trends, but maybe not such a great one for bad trends because sample size matters a lot. For me, it's always been, let's look at the whole month of April, then see where we are. So I don't read too much into it right away. It's nice to see right out of the gate, and hopefully some of those surprises can continue along the way, but baseball has a long season, and it's a long game, so I always preach patience.
Yeah, that's a very good thing. I mean, patience is clearly the key in all of this. I mean, you got to be very careful with how your team rebuilds. I mean, you look at franchises, of course, like the Brewers. They've been rebuilding. The Cubs took them 108 years. I mean, obviously they were contenders for a little bit.
We're in the middle of a 108-year rebuild.
Yeah, if you're the Brewers fans, I mean, you got a long ways to go, clearly. But I mean, there's so many different ways you could argue about that, but. Stepping away from the Yankees, stepping away from what the Red Sox are doing too. I mean, we're clearly in a different state of mind right now. But talk to us about the Major League Baseball as a whole. We've only been going at it for a little under 2 weeks, basically. What have been some of your biggest takeaways with the season thus far, and maybe some of your surprises or drops, honestly, based off of performances through the first almost 10 games now?
Well, I think that maybe, just maybe, the Dodgers might be healthy enough to make a sustained run. They've spent consistently over the last 3 or 4 seasons in baseball. And I think they finally now have the pieces. The rotation's a little bit deeper. It's more than Clayton Kershaw and then pray for 4 rainouts. And I know that might be a bit of an insult to the other Dodgers pitchers, but whatever, it's Clayton Kershaw. I think the Dodgers have already come out and sort of established themselves as a team that refuses to go away. But on the East side, I've been really surprised to see the Mets really come out swinging. I mean, Yoenis Cespedes, we always expected to carry that load. But Jay Bruce, a lot of people slept on him coming from Cincinnati because Cincinnati's a considerably smaller ballpark. But what I liked most about his swing in general is that it always carries prodigious power. You can take away the 2 home run game he had just a couple nights ago, and then Yoenis Cespedes came right behind him with a 3-homer game of his own. So I think that the Mets' offensive woes might actually be fixed because they found the right hitter to slide right behind Yoenis Cespedes. And they and the Nationals really go toe-to-toe for the division.
In regards to the sport, as it weighs up against some of the other major sports, some people think that baseball may be falling down the line and some other sports are coming up. I know Baxter thinks that soccer is on the rise, and I think it is too, but baseball is America's pastime, but people look at it as a slow sport. People are losing interest. It's a long season. Do you see the sport kind of falling off a little bit? And if so, do you have a reason why?
That's a really good question.
I know you love baseball. It's hard for somebody who loves baseball to talk poorly about baseball, but I'm just curious if you had any opinion on why the sport is kind of falling off a little bit, and if you think it is at all even.
I think that's a really valid question to ask, and I answer that by saying that, first of all, even at this point in time, despite all the scandals and everything around it, I don't think baseball is America's pastime anymore. I think it's football.
I think you're right.
That's what's really been fixated on the American sports conscience for nearly the last 2 decades. And I think part of the reason why baseball is losing popularity, first of all, anyone who tells you that it really isn't paying that much attention to the world around them. They're kind of stuck in that baseball is king world. And I say this as someone who played the game for 7 years and even coached it. I love baseball, but it is boring and it is sterile. Not because of the length, not because of the amount of pitching changes. It's boring and sterile because people take the fun out of it.
They do, and I agree. I really think, this is why I love having you on the show, Unqua, because you always give us the hottest of takes, and you lay down the law, even though it may not necessarily be your opinion. So, Unqua Sonye, my favorite correspondent.
You're really trying to carry on this favorite correspondent thing, and this is just beautiful. But I also truly believe it. I mean, if you look at the World Baseball Classic, the past month or so, it was the most exciting version of baseball anyone had ever seen. Why? Because everybody was really into it. The Dominican team was always fun to watch. Team Puerto Rico was fun to watch. And then you had Ian Kinsler come out for Team USA go, they show their passion in a different way than we do. No, they just show passion and y'all don't. People want to see Bryce Harper bat flip after a home run.
Hell yeah, we do.
They want to see pitcher batter tete-a-tetes. They want to see tempers boil over.
They want to see people bomb the ball.
Competition.
Giancarlo Stanton going yard.
Make steroids great again.
Well, I don't know about the whole steroids thing. But it's just, I really truly think that people have gotten so used to baseball being, so rigid with all these rules, blah, 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 blah. Here's one you should do away with. If a guy jacks you for a home run because you hung a curveball and he stares you down and he flips the bat, I got an idea. Don't hang a changeup next time.
Yeah,
Don't throw a
exactly.
bad pitch.
Exactly.
And
Well,
then you get mad at him by just throwing at his head because, my feelings are hurt. Get out.
It's ridiculous.
It's
And for me, it comes. I always bring it back to the NFL because when I was growing up, celebrating was totally okay in the NFL, and in most cases, it was encouraged. It made the sport much more exciting to watch. You get guys. I mean, you got Marshawn Lynch, with his Skittles, or you got guys dumping popcorn through their masks, like just doing it's fun. Like here's the deal, and hockey gets it right because in hockey they celebrate all the time, and they celebrate until the next. What are you doing? My God.
Doing my favorite celebration.
Right, I get it. Yeah. In hockey, they celebrate until the puck drops, and here's the deal: nope. Okay, so you're gonna hurt my feelings because you scored a goal on me or you hit a home run off me. Why should I feel like you need to be penalized for that because you hurt my feelings?
Also relevant to the context in soccer.
Relevant. Yes, relevant. Sure.
Easy does it. People do this all the time in soccer.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see guys come up with the craziest celebrations. I mean, people saw the viral.
The whole team will do it.
People saw the viral videos from that team out in Iceland that would row the boat and make bicycles and go fishing.
It's hilarious.
It's so awesome. And the other team isn't sitting over there kicking dirt at them, being like, "You guys suck. Like, get out of here."
No, they're like, "Okay, well, we got scored on. Let's go out
we'll
and do
the same thing next time." Like, whatever.
So, and that's fine. It adds a level of entertainment value.
It does.
And in baseball, people say the NFL is the no fun league. Well, baseball has been taking out the fun of the league for the last 20 years.
I think it's been taking it out for longer than that.
I mean, it really is. It's insane. But
that's why we love Umpqua.
I mean, what do we encourage the bat flips now? Do we encourage ridiculous celebrations? I don't know what to do to make the game more exciting.
Shorten the game.
I mean, really. No, stop it. Leave the game at 9 innings. I think, to be honest, we just need to really let players be themselves. Because I feel like the way sports in general is being approached in America, everybody has to be monotone. Everybody has to be must play now, worry not about consequences. And that's not fun. That's also not real. You have your Bryce Harpers with this somewhat supersized ego. Then you have a teammate like Ronald Torres, who is all hustle, all heart, blah, 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 every other thing in the book. And then you've got everybody in between. Let them be themselves. You get scored on, you get scored on. Pitch better. It's really not that hard to me.
It's not, and I think it's absurd, really, to I mean, it's this whole consolation prize thing. Like, we should feel bad for somebody because they got a home run hit off of them. You know what I mean? So, and by all means, if you hit a home run, if I hit a home run, which I never did,
celebrate.
But if I did it, yeah, I'm celebrating. Of course, I'm going to celebrate.
Throwing that bat a mile in the air, man. Don't care.
I'm going to make a show of it because that's probably never going to happen again.
Seriously.
So, I don't know.
Oh, my Lord. Unkwa, it's always a pleasure, sir. We certainly are going to be speaking with you again soon. Where can people continue to find you on social media?
On the Twitter, N_ASONYE. Just put the at the beginning of all that. And I need to give a correction. I knew I watched James Caprillion pitch in college, but it wasn't at Louisville. It was at UCLA.
Ah, of course.
I think around the same time. I think a couple of years after Garrett Cole. So it was UCLA.
UCLA. You know what the LA stands for in UCLA?
What's that?
Love our ball.
Ah. Love our ball.
Go home!
All right, Unkwa, we should go before this gets bad. So we'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much, sir.
Thanks, guys.
All right, buddy.
Oh, my Lord.
Awesome.
Unkwa Asonye, the only man that could make Tanner cry in fear. Unbelievable. I'm getting a call. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
Hello? Anybody there?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, who is this?
Oh, it's Tanner.
I'm in the
from
middle.
Brew Sports.
I'm in the middle of a show right now, Tanner. Can you call me later?
Yeah, I just wanted to remind you that you should probably share, and tell all your friends that we have such a great product here.
I'm on the air. I can't do that right now because I'm talking
Yeah,
to
you can. I'll do it right now. Watch.
Okay, fair enough.
Here,
Go ahead.
okay.
I'll wait. Go ahead.
I
I'll
just
wait.
liked the video.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna share it.
Sure. Okay. Real
I'm
quick,
just hold on. I gotta write something fun in the bio.
Make people feel like they're a part of the broadcast.
I'm
Give the people what they
the
want.
Phone. When I spelled phone wrong.
Of course you did. How do you spell the phone? How do you spell phone wrong when you're on the phone?
I'm typing on. I'm on the phone. I'm typing, and I will comment just to prove to everybody that I can do all these things. Multitask.
All at the same time.
Yes, and boom.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Well done.
Sweet.
Anything else? Can you get milk while you're at the store?
Yeah. They have these new candies there. It's like pretzels inside of like a chocolate ball.
Those have been around for a long time.
It's like 2 for $5.
Those are like pretzel peanut M&Ms. That's all that is.
Well, they're 2 for $5. Yes or no?
Sure.
Just say yes and I'll move on. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
Yep, love you.
Love you. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Sorry about that.
Adam on Facebook says, I found Waldo. He's not wrong.
There's a city in Wisconsin called Waldo. Every time we drive by, my wife is like, hey. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm like, thanks, Mom. Thanks, sweetheart. Robert says today is his birthday. Drink a beer for me.
Cheers to that, Robert. Happy birthday, my friend.
That was me drinking my imaginary beer.
Yes.
All the beers we have left in the fridge are basically like hoppity, and I'm not about
literally the opposite of what you would drink. The opposite of what you would drink. David, be sure to add Tanner says a bad pun.
Yeah,
bingo
why
board.
is that out of my
That
bingo
needs to be
card
on
here?
there
I
for
would have
sure.
won by like 80 points by now. I'm 1 away, by the way, from bingo.
Oh my gosh. Turned 30, so FML. Well, hey man.
We all got to grow up someday, Robert.
Yeah, I don't know. Is 30 the new 40? Like when you turn 30 now, is that considered over the hump?
30?
Or over the
No,
hill?
I mean millennials are probably like, my life is over.
Yeah,
like,
I'm 25 and I got gray hairs coming in, and I'm like,
I've got
that's
like
it.
a
It's the
slew
end
of
me.
gray hairs through here. I'm like, I got
Never
a
going
kid.
back.
I'm married. I've already got a 401k. I've got
Meanwhile, I'm watching
health insurance.
Yes. Meanwhile, I'm watching Ricky Fowler and Jordan Spieth and
Would you just leave
Smiley
him
and
alone?
Thomas just have a blast down. I found out yesterday they're not at just a private golf course. They're on a private island that is literally dedicated to.
Why do we not
rich
have a
people.
private island on Brew Sports?
I saw Ricky Fowler jump off a giant yacht yesterday. I'm like, oh my god.
Golly.
These guys are our age, and we're over
seriously-
here doing this crap.
You seriously? I feel like, what? Do you not enjoy anything on Brew Sports? You don't even.
I just don't care.
You don't care? You don't have a single thing about Brew Sports that you like?
The headphones are nice.
The headphones are nice.
We have a mini fridge with
nothing
quality
good
craft
in it.
beer in there that you won't
Quality,
drink.
not quality, with craft beer is what it is, not craft beer.
My dad says, "What a punster."
Huh? Wonder where he got that from.
Oh my gosh.
Robert says, "Haha, f you, lol." Can I don't know how. I mean, can you really make fun of somebody if you say haha and then f you and then lol? Like if you're just like haha, like screw you, like oh okay. But the fact that you put lol after that makes me question.
Yes. But yes, of course.
Beer is free.
I'm sure you guys have already done so, but
People
be sure
are crazy.
To share. Tell the world that Tanner's making lunch, and I'll just tell you now, I'm going to be making a pizza. And that'll be coming up shortly, so be sure to tell the world that that's what we're going to be doing. It's my favorite segment. And when I say this, though, I actually mean it. This one actually is my favorite
This is where your
segment.
legacy started, Tanner, was with What's
It
for
was.
Lunch.
I loved it. It's so great. And the last time we did it, we broke the stream. So we'll see what happens this time.
We're streaming try levels today here, folks. You can get
Yes.
us here on Facebook. You can find us live on YouTube on the Brew Sports YouTube channel, and we're streaming live on Spreaker as well. You can go to Spreaker.com and listen to search for Brew Sports, or you can also search for the Spreaker app in the App Store, and you can tune in on the go if you're more of a mobile kind of person.
So if you'd rather listen to just our beautiful voices, you can listen to us live that way.
You can do that
And you can
for
also
sure.
listen to our archived podcast forums as
They're
well.
all up there, yeah, on our website, brewsportsnet.com as well. Tom says, back to you, Tanner, smiley face. Robert says, he called me 40. Well, he didn't call you 40. He said, is 30 the new 40, question mark. He didn't say, Robert, you're 40. I feel like there's a common misconception in all of this.
Well, I didn't say he was 40. I just said, is it the new over the hill? Because when I turn 30, I might as well just go off and crawl into a ditch and
Well, it depends on
die.
what you're doing with your life at that point. I mean,
This.
what are you going to be doing in 5 years? Are you going to be married? Are you going to have any kids? Are
I'll
you going to do anything with your life?
probably be about 10 pounds heavier.
I thought you were
My
trying to
beard
get the
will be a little
2011 bod
longer.
back.
I am actually. I am going to be doing that. I talked to my girlfriend yesterday about it, and
Should work out with my wife and I.
well, she told me that she said she's serious about it. And I said I am too, but here's the deal.
Your girlfriend needs to gain weight, not lose weight.
In 2010, I started at about where I am right now, and I dropped like 35 pounds.
Yeah.
And really started pushing myself. And I told her, I said, I'm down to do it, but it's going to be hard, and it's going to be a long 4 or 5 months.
It's true. You got to work hard.
And she's a picky eater.
I told her,
I said, what this means is you're going to have to eat things that are healthy that you won't normally eat.
This is why you need to spend more time with the Colburn House, because we will whip you into shape faster than your butt can whip.
My butt can't whip. It can't nay-nay either.
But can you juju on that beach? Or I don't know how to I forget how to juju on the beach.
But yeah, I mean, what this means is when I make a grilled chicken salad and homemade vinaigrette, don't complain about it.
That sounds so good.
Go eat ramen noodle.
I'm all about that life.
Yeah,
ramen noodle is literally like injecting poison straight into your body.
It's terrible. Anything that's 25 cents, if you consider something that's 25 cents a meal. But I mean, when you're poor and literally like when you're broke, believe me, I know this. It's like a great emergency
You ain't got no
snack.
money to take your
broke ramen home.
Broke ramen home. Mark on Facebook says the commentary on the World Baseball Classic is so spot on. ... When somebody says when it finishes a comment with ... I never know if they're being serious or if they're being an asshole. ... Like, how am I supposed to know? I feel like if I'm remembering correctly, and Mark, forgive me, I'm pretty sure I know who you are. Mark is a pretty straight shooter to my knowledge, so I don't want to like blame Mark and call him a dirty name.
Yeah,
he's not like a Patriots fan or something.
David says, heck, I'll marry Tanner if he's gonna feed me like that.
Bingo!
Hey Jeff, hi Jeff Scheibe.
I have bingo.
Do you actually have bingo?
Yeah, that's why I said bingo.
What did I say?
Tanner sips his beer. Tanner references LeVar Ball.
Okay.
Tanner adjusts how he's sitting.
Okay.
Tanner references a comment. Tanner adjusts his earpiece.
Yes. We got a good bingo.
Yeah.
Let me look here real quick because I was digging for that soccer one.
Check my work. I know you were, but that's why, it kept being so relevant. That's why I never got there.
Just mark
I'm giving you numerous. I'm giving you numerous. Does it count, though? Can you go back and mark your card if you haven't been following along?
Baxter references another Brew Sports show.
Which show did I reference?
It's not going to do me any good anyways because you don't have a beer.
Nope.
And you, for some reason, would not let me punch the soccer one out of here.
Because it was true.
Baxter does something in the back. Oh, Baxter changes his wardrobe. Baxter starts singing and humming a tune.
Come on now.
You kind of did.
When is this?
You did your, but can you juju?
That's not singing.
I don't know. This is a stretch.
That's a very big stretch.
I agree with you there.
Thank you. Overruled.
We got a good bingo. Baxter has a good bingo. Baxter wins today.
I mean, we could play Blackout. There's numerous other things to go for.
Well, yeah.
And I probably already gave you a bingo, but you just weren't paying attention, so what else is new?
Yeah, it's true. Tanner does Seinfeld impression.
That's great.
All right.
Robert says he's playing bingo tonight at Pato for his birthday.
Nice.
I'll
meet you there.
Never been to Pato.
I've been there a couple times, but it's it's okay.
Maybe that's how you
I went there
gained weight. You gambled all your skinniness away.
I went there on my 21st birthday, and because I had a New York license, they expire when you turn 21. And I went there on my birthday, but my license was expired, and they kicked me out. I was like, I'm never coming back here ever again. I ultimately did go back at some point. He did reference nay-naying, but did not sing. Well done, Bax. You paid attention to your own show. David's clearly the referee here. David, I believe we do have a good bingo. So I vouched for him today. But yes, if we ever have any questions, of course we have you to reference. So what else is going on?
Hockey playoffs are what's going on.
Should we talk about the playoffs real quick?
The playoffs.
Playoffs. I lost it.
Playoffs?
It's gone.
What's gone?
My bracket.
Your bracket? People are already saying, they're like, yeah, my brackets are ruined. I'm like, guys, they played one game.
Yeah.
Literally one game.
Do people do that for other sports?
Yes.
So
Jamie said she's made a bracket already, and she says she's already looking in trouble. I'm like, it's a one game out of like 5 or 12.
So we have Alexander Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals going up against Austin Matthews and the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Washington Capitals are arguably the best team in the league right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking. You can see the bracket right now on the screen. I mean, Blackhawks, Predators, Blues, Wild, Oilers, Sharks, Flames, Ducks on the western side of things. Then you've got the Maple Leafs and the Capitals, Penguins and the Blue Jackets, right? They're the Blue Jackets. The Senators and the Bruins. And the Rangers and the Canadiens on the eastern side of things.
Well, the ones that I'm watching are definitely going to be the Ottawa versus Boston because those are two semi-mediocre teams that, quite frankly, I don't really think they should even be in the playoffs. But so I'm going to watch that series. Not that it really matters because I think they're going to lose to either Montreal or whoever. But, the other team, of course, that I'm going to be watching is the Edmonton Oilers. They are, they got a great young team, and to have Connor McDavid finally in the playoffs, I think it's going to be exciting to watch him get geared up and how he kind of acts and reacts to being in the playoffs. So Pittsburgh and Columbus is going to be interesting because, of course, Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, they're going back and trying to get a third Stanley Cup, but the Columbus Blue Jackets, arguably the surprise of the NHL season. So it'll be fun to watch that series. The Blackhawks and the Predators. The Predators, I know Jamie would probably hate me for saying this, but the Predators probably don't stand much of a chance against Chicago.
Listen, you're playing Chicago. You're playing one of the best teams in the NHL, the number one seed overall.
The modern dynasty is what they are.
The modern dynasty. They won 3 NHL, Stanley Cups in 4 years, a couple of years ago. Like, you're not going to beat the Blackhawks in a 7-game series. Maybe in like a 35-game series, you might get the best of them, but even then, Predators are just glad to be in the playoffs again. It's good to make them relevant. It's going to make them a little extra cash, but don't think about it too much, honestly, if you're a Blackhawks fan or if you're a Predators fan, because you don't have much to cheer for.
The Minnesota Wild St. Louis Blues series is going to be fun to watch. The Blues won in overtime 2-1, so they're already up 1-0 in the series. But it's an interesting rivalry there between Minnesota and St. Louis. So it's going to be an interesting. It's another one kind of like Boston and Ottawa, where you could kind of take it or leave it with these teams. You don't think they're going to make the Stanley Cup final, but and St. Louis has always disappointed in the playoffs. So,
well, that's the thing. Jamie and I talked about this morning on the Morning Brew, just how literally sad it has to be a Blues fan, because they usually get stuck with either Chicago or they get stuck with Minnesota every single year, and they just never can do anything about it.
And then once they beat Minnesota, they have to play Chicago.
Exactly. So there's just this absolute downward spiral of life if you're a Blues fan. And then you trade away TJ Oshie and other guys on the team that actually are quality players. Shattenkirk, among others, as well, too. And you see them go on to be successful with other teams, even though they could never put it together on your own team. It just gets very frustrating after a while if you want to be a Blues fan. I mean, I've got a good friend of mine that is a Blues fan, and he just is like, I don't know what to tell you. They're not good enough to be able to play, higher seeds, and they're just going to continue to crash and burn until the Blackhawks and the Wild stop being good. That's just the honest truth about it, which is going to take a long time because those are established, well-versed organizations.
We'll have to see what happens.
David says that he picked DeVry. Well done. He said, David says, I picked DeVry in my NHL bracket. I need to stop picking them for every bracket that I enter. Trevor says, Baxter proving to be the Pablo Sanchez of Brew Sports Bingo. Duh. Adios, bingo.
That's great.
Backyard baseball.
The Pablo Sanchez of Brew Sports Bingo. I'm in the playoffs right now in my Backyard Baseball 2001 league.
In the where?
Coached by Ditka, by the way.
Ditka. I couldn't get it to load back in my computer.
I'm in the playoffs. I was a 1 seed. I lost one game in the regular season, but there's something. I mean, Pablo Sanchez is cold right now. And we talked about this. When Pablo Sanchez is cold, he's basically useless.
Might as well just. Kurt Schilling's a better player than him back at that point. Jesse on Facebook says, Tanner, whoop, whoop, looking awesome, tea time. Oh. Hey. What up, Jesse?
Yeah. Jesse, hello, of course.
Who's Jesse?
Whoop, whoop.
I feel like I just read that. I feel like I just did this. I love it. And here's Tanner just like, oh,
Jesse's great. Is
anybody else watching? Does Tanner remind you of Archer? Anybody seen the TV show Archer? Have you seen
Bob
Archer?
From, like the guy who plays. Were you talking about the voice, or are you talking about the character?
The actual
Archer?
Character Archer.
Oh god.
Lana.
Oh god. Lana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Oh my god.
Yes. Your dad gave us a joke of the day, by the way.
My wife accused me of being immature. I told her to get out of my fort. Oh, okay. Oh, it's too funny.
Seriously.
It's too funny. Should we gear it to the NBA playoffs real quick before we get to my lunch segment?
Are we heading into the danger zone?
Danger zone! All right, let me mark that real quick. Baxter sings.
Oh, what do you mean? That's part of this. That's part of the thing. What are you talking about here?
Actually, I was at the Dolphins-Bills game with Jesse
Reference the Bills.
I know.
I've already gotten Buffalo.
You already won, so I can reference it without feeling like I'm losing over here.
So LeVar Ball, Tom Brady, and that stuff now.
We were I went with my two brothers and Jess. We met up.
What are your brothers' names?
Well. TJ and Turber.
Yes, I got that one too.
But
Turbs.
It was Bills-Dolphins game, and it was the game that
really
ended up going into overtime. It was basically like the simulated game that we watched here.
They were up?
They
were down by 13 and then blew it?
We came back, we're up, thought we were going to win, had plenty of time on the clock, and then the Dolphins ended up winning in overtime.
I won the Super Bowl in Madden 08, by the way.
Did you?
My Packers finished 15-1.
So
shout out the Patriots in the Super Bowl, 35-0. Tom freaking Brady threw a ton of interceptions, and we just owned him.
Yeah. Makes you
literally
feel
just brought him down, slammed him into the ground, and bent him over and spanked him like Jay Cutler's booty.
I love it. It
was a good time.
Yes.
Everybody enjoyed it.
All right, let's gear to the NBA playoffs real quick before I make lunch for
Please.
everybody.
Brackets out. NBA season finished last night.
Golden State, of course, finishing up as a 1 seed, going to go up against Portland. Boston taking on Chicago in the Eastern Conference as the 1 seed, which will mean Cleveland will take on Indiana. So Cleveland is going to win that. The Pacers are good, but they're not good enough. Here's the deal. For Boston, Chicago, that's going to be a fun matchup to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago, I think, can still surprise some people, but they're not. I don't think they can make a deep run, but they can still surprise some people. If they can get past Boston, who knows? San Antonio at 2, playing Memphis. Houston at 3, going up against OKC. So that's going to be another fun one to watch. Oklahoma City with the Houston Rockets. And then the matchup I have my eye on, of course, the Milwaukee Bucks 6 seed going up against the Toronto Raptors.
Looking at this bracket from my perspective, Golden State's going to sweep. The Clippers and Jazz are going to go to 5 games, but the Clippers are going to win. OKC is going to be exciting for a game or two, but the Rockets are ultimately going to win. San Antonio is just this monotonous, boring machine of awesomeness that's going to continue to win and grind their way all the way to the conference finals.
And then lose.
In traditional fashion. Boston, I think, has an upset possibility, but they're still much better than the Bulls because Jimmy Butler and Dwayne Wade are just not good enough, even with Joe
At least right now, yes.
Yeah, currently. Washington, Atlanta, I kind of a horse apiece on this one, honestly. Washington, I think, will take that victory. Toronto and Milwaukee, I think it would be great, obviously, if Milwaukee won this game. Not spending too much time thinking about that, though. And then, of course, Cleveland and the Pacers. Cleveland's going to rock it through. LeBron's been to 5 finals when he's been on a team that has the number 2 seed. Yep. So, I mean, the odds are very much against the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the games that they played throughout the season. The Cavs lead their season matchups 3-1.
Yep.
The game that they lost by 10 on 103-93. And then the other scores are just ridiculous. 132-117. 113-104, and then this one's just a high-scoring game. It's amazing. This is why I hate basketball. A team can score 130 points and still lose. Cleveland at 135, Indiana 130. I mean, at what point are you like, maybe we should play defense because putting up all these points isn't doing it for us?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
130 points and still lose.
That's welcome to a basketball. That's why it's still boring.
This is insane.
People want to see the points, the high scoring, but not like that. Not like this. I'm too young.
Well, I'm excited.
True. Trevor says Dwayne Wade is out for the year. Yes, Trevor, I did know that, but that's what I'm saying. Though, even if Dwayne Wade had been healthy for the series, wouldn't have made a difference, honestly.
I agree.
Boston is still
he's past his prime.
Boston is still far too good, and Isaiah Thomas, when healthy, if healthy, as completely.
Adam has a good question. He says, "Hey Baxter, where did you grow up again?"
In a state in the South.
Tampa.
In a city called Naples.
Naples.
Yep.
Naples, Texas.
Yes.
Oh.
It's on the Gulf of Mexico, so it all counts.
Tanner equals mixture between Archer and Ron Burgundy. You're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong, Goulet.
Are you serious?
Hops, hops, hops. I love hops.
Don't spill your beer. Do you want ants?
Hops
because this is how you get ants, Lana.
Do you want ants? Let's see. Do you... Tanner is the mixture... I don't know what that means.
Who won between Tanner and Baxter the other day, according to Patrick? For what? What were we doing the other day? We do so many things.
Did we do a draft? Was it a draft or something? I don't remember.
Well, we did the draft. We did the backyard sports draft, but I mean, there's no way to play it. That's
true. No.
No, there's no way to do that. No, it's not physically possible. Backyard football, yes. Backyard.
Yes, completely agree. Pat agrees with Trevor. He says the NBA might have amazing athletes, but college basketball is way better, and it's way more exciting. So.
Oh, yeah, backyard baseball.
Anyways, I want to move into my segment here. Get this out of the way. Get people hot and bothered out there. Christopher, hello. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, what up, Chris?
Let's see here. It's my favorite segment. We had my favorite correspondent on the show today. I got my favorite co-host on the show today. It's time to move into my favorite segment called What's for Lunch? And guess what, Baxter? I am hungry. Are you hungry?
Yeah.
Do you like pizza? Do you like Italian food? Do you like deep dish pizza?
Chicago deep dish pizza?
Okay, here's the deal. I'm making pizza today, and I'm going to start by saying I'm making deep dish pizza because deep dish pizza, it's a real pizza pie. Okay?
Pizza pie, yeah.
So for my deep dish pizza, I'm using 108 ingredients, and I'm using the Chicago Cubs World Series ring as my deep dish pizza, so my deep dish crust. But I'm going to, or that's just the style. I need crust though.
You actually walk through 108 ingredients because I'm going to leave if you are.
Yes, no. My crust is going to be while you're walking off the set. I'll just say it. My crust today. It's my favorite crust. It's the best crust out of all the crusts. I would know. Trust me. It's Jerry Jones' crusty love for Tony Romo. Well, come on. He's crusty. He's old. It's funny. It's a joke. I got jokes. Okay, to put on, so far I got a crusty deep dish pizza. I need some sauce in there, and that's the thing with deep dish pizza. You need a lot of sauce. Like I said, it's a real pizza pie, so you got to get it all in there. My sauce is going to be Russell Westbrook's record-breaking year because, God darn it, is he saucy. He is saucy. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah? You okay?
I'm good.
All right. I need to put some cheese on my pizza. You need to put cheese on pizza. Thank you for that. I need to put some cheese on my pizza. So today I'm going to use Tony Romo's love for Jerry Jones as my cheese.
Everybody loves Jerry Jones.
But here's the deal. We're in Wisconsin, but we're making Chicago-style deep dish pizza. But doesn't mean that we can't put a little extra cheese on our pizza. We are the dairy state. We do love our cheese. So my extra cheese today is going to be Romo's NBA career.
Oh, my God.
Which lasted one night. No minutes. It's like LeVar Ball's. Never mind. Speaking of LeVar Ball, I need to put some sausage, some meat into this pizza. So what I'm going to do is...
Careful.
Well, let me just go through what I have so far. So I'm doing a deep dish pizza, and I'm using the Chicago World Series ring with 108 ingredients. My crust is going to be the crusty Jerry Jones and his crusty love for Tony Romo.
He reminds me of the Emperor from Star Wars.
Yes.
Jerry Jones.
Yeah, he really does. Or like the girl from The Emperor's New Groove. Yzma. He thinks he runs the world, but he's actually like a bad guy.
Girls! Who runs the world?
So I have Jerry Jones, the Chicago Cubs World Series ring, my deep dish pizza. My sauce is Russell Westbrook's record-breaking year because, gosh darn it, is he saucy. I have extra cheese, so I have Tony Romo's love for Jerry Jones as well as Tony Romo's NBA career playing for the Dallas Mavericks. I need some sausage. I need some meat to this pizza. And the thing with deep dish pizza is it goes on the inside. So what I'm going to use is every ballpark dog that was devoured during opening week across the MLB. And I wish I had a stat for it because I'm sure it's just absurd. But a lot of dogs, a lot of Italian sausages, a lot of bratwursts, a lot of Polish sausages. Just sausages on sausage on sausage. So I have
As you would say, a spread of sausages.
Yeah, but it sounds pretty good.
Sausage eye.
I love deep dish pizza. Would you eat this pizza?
Sounds a little crusty for me personally.
All right, well, here's the deal. I know how to sweeten it up. I know how to sweeten the deal.
All right.
If I'm making this, you're still going to come over. You want to know how?
You going to have cannoli?
I'm going to, no cannolis. But I need to complement it with a nice cab. Okay? And I'm going to be using
I can be a nice cab.
So I'm using, you got to have wine. So you need to have I'm going to have a Spanish wine for this one to go with my Chicago deep dish pizza.
Huh.
Sergio Garcia, after years of whining about losing and losing and coming so close.
Well done.
He's finally got his major, and it's the Masters. So good for you, Sergio. But I'm going to be drinking Sergio's wine with my pizza.
Sounds yummy.
That's what's for lunch. I love it.
Comment below. Hashtag yes lunch. Hashtag no way. You eating what Tanner's serving.
Is that a beer you're drinking, Baxter?
Great Scott!
Baxter, bark twice if you're in Milwaukee.
No, it's a Maybach. This isn't a beer.
It's a Maybach. It is a beer.
It doesn't taste like a beer.
Yeah, it's because it's a Maybach.
I don't even know what that means, Tanner.
I hate my box.
Yeah. Look like something that would be
I
partially.
can only imagine how much you love it.
Adam says Sergio does have his own wine company. What? Is that a subscription? I would
and the
subscribe.
bingo winner should chug a beer. Yes, that's great.
I feel like the loser should chug the beer.
Got to talk with your hands while making a pizza. I should have done the whole thing in an Italian accent. I should have done it. I don't know why I didn't do it. Next time I'll do it. It's fine.
You're just from New York. You're not even Italian.
Listen here, just don't give me that, okay? I don't need to get this from you, all right?
Yeah, you're from the
I don't
Bronx.
need to get this from you.
You're from the Bronx. You're like a cab driver from the
Chicago
Bronx.
deep dish, right? Okay.
Okay, Ditka, go play the World Series of Backyard Baseball.
Surge does have his own wine company. Well, we'll be drinking the Surge.
The Surge. I wonder if he calls it the Surge or the Green Jackets.
Hungry for pizza all of a sudden. I actually am hungry for pizza now.
And
Maybe
see,
I'll
I'll
do pizza.
I brought wine with me. I brought wine. I brought soup with me. I brought Italian wedding soup with me today.
Well,
Homemade.
There you go. Alrighty. Beautiful.
And you're the ingredients to everything.
I am.
Sergio Garcia, NY Hub on Clive's. Oh, no. Wow. Nope, not at all what I thought.
Sorry, go on.
No, there's a lot of random stuff on this website that ain't nobody got time for. It's very strange.
Well.
Sergio Garcia wins the Masters. I Googled Sergio Garcia Wine Company. Nothing shows up. You're lying to us, Adam.
Adam.
You're a communist, a liar, and a cheater. Hey, we had 100 comments today, by the way.
We hit 100 comments?
100
Yeah.
comments. That was terrible. I hit
All
you.
right. Sweet.
It's like the basketball celebration where they you run by each other and you're just like, hey.
Yep.
Terrible.
Did
my
Quattro
chair shrink?
Almost Wines by Sergio Garcia.
Yummy.
Okay, there you go.
We want to see what's popping up on your screen, Baxter. No, David, we don't want to see what's popping up on my screen. Just Google Sergio Garcia Wine Company, and there's weird things. Wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Well,
alrighty.
This has been good.
It's been great.
We had a lot of people watch today, a lot of comments.
Yes. Should we go out with the Canadian national anthem? Can we do that? Is that possible?
I think there's an app for that somewhere. I'm sure.
Did it load now?
No. You want the Canadian app?
Well, the one that I sent you, the one that's in there that Adam told us. We'll bring the whole show full circle. We'll play what Adam talked about at the beginning of the show was the Oilers fans singing the Canadian national anthem in unison. And plus it'll get us geared up for the playoffs. I don't know why. Yeah, I have it. The link should work.
I'll try again here in a moment.
Anyways, tell us what you want me to make for lunch next week, or maybe depending on how ambitious I'm feeling, maybe I'll try and do it more than once a week. But if there are any segments you want us to try,
that requires a lot of work
from
you, Tanner.
Yeah, I know. If you have any segments or anything you want us to do, any games you want us to play, tell us what you think should be on our bingo cards, and of course, be sure to like, follow, comment, all that fun stuff.
And share.
And share. And check out our website at brewsportsnet.com.
Yeah, I feel like I'm much taller than you now.
Yeah, I feel like my chair has slowly been going down.
Yeah, my chair's been strange this entire show.
Well done. All right.
I've almost got it.
You've almost got it. Okay.
Almost.
All right.
Almost.
Let's see. You can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Banner Turk. He's at Baxter Colburn. Hashtag Brew Sports. So.
All right. Here we go.
Thank you for watching. We'll leave you with the Canadian national anthem because why not?
Were you saying something? Were you talking over the national anthem?
No, it was not. I said I feel like I should be drinking and standing and holding my beer like that guy.
How long is this national anthem?
I'm trying to listen to the song! Let's play ball! Let's play ball! All right. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. That was the Canadian National Anthem. Until next time, what do you think? You have any other closing remarks before we sign off here?
No, I'm good to go. Go
All right.
Canada.
Until next time, oh, Canada it is. I'm Tanner Burke, and he is Baxter Colburn. Have a very Merry Christmas.
Shalom.
Unbelievable. Jesse said, I couldn't find a stat on dogs eaten opening week, but 21 million dogs sold in a season. Oh, my God.